wondered what it's like to be an archaeologist? Now you can for the Michigan Archaeology Day. And here to literally help us dig into the details is Stacy from the Michigan History Center. How are you doing?
I am fantastic, and I'm here to talk about my favorite day of the year.
Yes, exactly. This is better than Christmas. This is better than the Super Bowl. This is
all put together.
Your day right here. But before we dive into the day, I have to ask, because we've had you on the show before talking about the history, talking about archaeology, but what really drew you to this field?
Oh, since I was a young kid, I loved being outside. I liked finding small, rocks and just the little things that kids seem to find when they're outside that adults might look over, or it's just that curiosity, that interest in the detail. What is it? Where did it come from? Should it matter to me? And I think it's that childhood curiosity. The fact that archaeology is, you get to be outside. You do a lot of work inside too, but you get to be outside. You get to use your body, your mind, your art skills, your science skills. It's a combination of, there's a place for everybody in archaeology, and I think that's why I like it the best.
Yeah, and now everyone else can see where they fit in when it comes to archaeology.
Yes.
Of course, on Saturday for the Michigan Archaeology Day, and be curious and look at those details. So what can we expect this year?
This is a 6-hour flash mob. It's a party for Michigan history and archaeology. So folks have been living in Michigan for upwards of over 14,000 years. That is a big topic to cover. So we've got a little bit of everything. We have exhibitors from all over the state, from universities, tribes, agencies who are going to be presenting about the great archaeological finds and projects that they've done this year. We have a host of hands-on activities, and this is an all-ages event. So the hands-on activities include throwing a spear using an atlatl at a foam deer target, just like people did in the Michigan forest for thousands of years. You can participate in learning how archaeologists repiece broken pottery in a laboratory. And then there are demonstrators who will be doing flint knapping. They will be showing geophysical survey tools like ground penetrating radar. How do archaeologists see what's below the ground surface without digging a hole? The school robotics teams have an archaeology theme challenge this year. So all the robotics teams across the state and the country are learning about archaeology this year. So we will have 2 teams presenting with us and teams visiting from all over the state.
And I also love too that archaeology is a lot of focus on the past, but then there's so much on the future, how it impacts it, and having the robotics team there. So it's just, it goes on and on. And I do want to mention as well, I saw that there's also going to be a whole presentation about the Edmund Fitzgerald, which I mean, what more is Michigan than the Edmund Fitzgerald? Right.
Great Lakes shipping, it's not just commerce, it's our culture in Michigan. And so we have Rick Mixter, who's an author, documentarian, shipwreck historian, and he's actually been down to the Edmund Fitzgerald, and not very few people have. He's going to be giving a presentation on investigations about the wreck, and we can learn about that important history. And when you come to Archaeology Day and visit and see the presentation, you can also take home a special Edmund Fitzgerald poster that is created by our State Historic Preservation Office for Archaeology Day this year.
Oh my goodness. You're going to be busy, busy, busy on this Saturday, because you're going to want to go and do a little bit of everything. But you mentioned those hands-on activities that you have here. What else did you bring? What is this?
Oh, that's an arrow. We have so many hunters in Michigan. That's another part of our culture. This technology only came into Michigan about 1,400 years ago. So when you think that people have been living in Michigan upwards of 14,000 years ago, what were they using before the bow and arrow? And they, for thousands of years, were throwing spears using an atlatl or a throwing stick.
Oh my goodness, this is so much fun. And I know too that people can bring their own artifacts to kind of get that checked out as well during this event.
One of the events that we offer is the Archaeology Roadshow, where people can bring it, if it fits in a shoebox, bring it in. Bring in artifacts that you find. People have collections from all over the state, and they're also importantly, they are caretakers of sites on their own properties. So what do you do if you find an artifact? What do you do if you have an archaeological site on your property? We'll have a panel of experts in archaeology and geology who can tell you what you have, why it's important, and tell you how to be a good steward of the artifacts and sites that you may have, and how to report them, because reporting archaeological sites and artifacts help us create a model for human history across the state. It's giving me chills thinking about it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Stacey. It's always great to have you in. And of course, this all takes place at the Michigan History Center starting at 10 a.m. on Saturday. But thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.